Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans continued the momentum on the 2024 high school recruiting trail, landing four-star linebacker from the state of Connecticut, Elijah Newby, 6'3", 200 pounds. It says 185, did some research, up to 200, 205 pounds. And what USC is getting here is a versatile linebacker that can do a lot of different things. And I'm kind of interested to see how they get him into this program and use him. I think he has the length to be kind of an edge rusher. He also has the ability to really play in space and be kind of a nickel linebacker as well. I think you get a versatile guy who's very athletic. We're going to get into the film a little bit. Before we get into it, though, again, just want to say thank you to you guys and especially the USC fans. The USC haters running for the hills right now with the Lincoln Riley only uses the portal, can't recruit out of the high school classes, because Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans are absolutely cleaning up on the high school recruiting trail. We've been talking a lot about them. You guys know I'm kind of nerdy about the high school recruiting. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Can't thank the Trojan fans enough for all the support you guys have shown the fellas. And without further ado, let's get into Elijah Newby. First thing you see, a little bit of a discrepancy in how he's evaluated as a prospect according to the composite outside the top 500. 24/7 Sports likes him a lot, a top 250 national prospect, 4-star rating. You see the offers. I mean, a lot of Power 5 teams were in on this kid from Connecticut, Michigan, Penn State. He was slated to take an official to South Carolina this weekend, cancels that, commits to the Trojans. A lot of Power 5 teams wanted him, and for good reason, right? 6'3", 200 pounds, but sub-11 second 100-meter dash time. Like, that's when you look at projecting and trying to find linebackers in this modern day of college football, you need your linebackers to play in space. Gone are the days where you have the 250-pound linebackers who are kind of box linebackers. That might help when you're playing Iowa, but when you're playing a lot of these contending college football teams for national titles, you need your linebackers to play in space, to be athletic, carry tight ends up the seam, tackle running backs out in the flat. Elijah Newby, I think, is that kind of guy. Now, let's get into the film a little bit because, again, it's a really fun film watch. You're going to see him line up in all sorts of spots, and this is kind of what I mean with I think he has some ability to kind of rush the passer from that edge position. Got some good burst, some good bend. You see that kind of track time explosiveness in the 100-meter coming out, but you're going to see him line up everywhere. Here in the nickel, he's going to come in on the blitz, but again, you're going to see, absolute wrecking ball. Like, he might be quote unquote undersized, but one thing, he's probably going to put on some weight. And two, I really don't have much questions about his play strength because this dude plays like an absolute hammer. And again, this is kind of what I mean, though. You have a guy that you feel comfortable with him covering people in the nickel. You're going to see some coverage ability now, not just some blitzing. A really versatile kind of guy, fires in on the, I'm having a blast watching him when I kind of in my pre-show was watching him. Just a very fun watch because he plays like an absolute Tasmanian devil. And here he goes again, covering in that nickel spot, athletic enough to kind of cover. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Being able to break, tackle the running back in space. I think you're getting a guy that I don't know necessarily how they're going to use him. I think he could come in, put on some weight, and kind of be an edge rusher. I even think he could be a safety at this point with how fast he is with the 10-9, 100-meter track time. Not sure exactly how you're going to use him, but you're getting a guy that's kind of a chess piece on the defense that can do a lot of different things. And with defenses going to how much speed can we get on the field and also stop the run, Elijah Newby is an absolutely coveted prospect in terms of that. Taking a look at the commitments now, and this is not counting Elijah Newby's commit, 9 commits. He's their 10th commit, and it is filling up really, really quick. 7 days ago, USC was outside of the top 60 in the recruiting class. They're already up into a top 20 class. You take a look at who they have on campus and who they've had on campus. This is looking like another top 10, top 8, maybe even top 5 class for USC. And you couple that with how much talent and young talent, I might add, that they've been able to add in the transfer portal. This is a team that you're feeling really good about where they are right now heading into 2023, but you're also feeling really good about how they are fitted to kind of transition into the Big Ten. Let's take a look and just kind of maybe put a little mock class together of what USC is doing and who's coming on campus. This weekend, you have 2 St. John Bosco kids coming in. Peyton Woodard, who's already committed to Georgia, but hey, if you're taking visits, I don't count that as a commitment. And then a lot of you guys have been talking about him, Kingston Viliamu Asa from St. John Bosco as well. Another one of those linebackers, kind of like Elijah Newby. He's already a little built, right? Elijah Newby, kind of more of a project. You probably got to get him in, put some weight on him. Kingston, not as much. Like this guy is 6'3", 230 pounds. You look at the linebacker group in USC, you count Eric Gentry, a lot of length, a lot of speed, and a lot of athleticism. Going back to the guys they had on campus on June 2nd, it seemed to be a phenomenal recruiting weekend with Dakota Fields and Fallon already committing. Xavier Brown, a lot of traction there for a 4-star cornerback out of Mater Dei. And also a lot of traction with Taylor Tatum, who Michigan seemed to be in the lead for Taylor Tatum's commitment, but they took a running back in the top 100 already. So maybe Taylor Tatum kind of pivoting to this USC offense. And if you're a 5-star running back, a top 50 national running back, I cannot blame you for wanting to go play in that Lincoln Riley offense because you're going to get your touches and you're going to get your touches in space. Going up, and they have a massive recruiting weekend coming up on Friday, June 16th. And that's where Lincoln Riley might get back to his bread and butter and start recruiting some of this top-end talent on the offensive side of the ball. You have 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews coming in, an elite cornerback in Bryce West, who's probably trending to Ohio State, but getting him on campus. Ryan Pelham, this is a big one. It sounds like Oregon, USC kind of battling it out for his commitment. But again, starting to get some of that offensive talent coming into campus, checking them out. This is going to be, I'm really interested to see how USC can kind of finish this class out because you're getting a lot of talent on campus. It seems like, and we talk about this all the time, the high school recruiting game it's a momentum game. And you see when you get commitments in, guys start turning their heads and looking at what USC or what Ohio State's doing on the recruiting trail and saying, hey, that 2024 class, it could be a special group. I might want to be a part of it. I think with all this traction that's trending to USC, coupled with the momentum they're getting on the transfer portal, they're probably going to put together a phenomenal season in 2023. It's really exciting to see what this class for USC could be in 2024 and then in the future in 2025. One caveat I do want to talk about that we kind of talked about last time we talked to USC, Elijah Brown cancels his visit to USC. Sounds like he's going to go to Stanford or UCLA, which I think that makes sense. It makes sense for Elijah Brown. It kind of makes sense for USC as well. They put a lot of their eggs in one basket with Dylan Raiola. Obviously, that didn't work out. It's going to be hard to get a top-notch quarterback in the 2024 class when you have Malachi Nelson there in the 2023 class. So I wouldn't be surprised if USC just kind of pivots to this 2025 class, identifies a guy, and goes after him hard because at the end of the day, USC and Lincoln Riley will have their pick at quarterback. They do not have it's not a hard sales pitch to say, hey, come to USC. Lincoln Riley has developed Heisman Trophy winners at the quarterback position, first-round picks at the quarterback position with all the success he had at Oklahoma, now that he's having at Caleb Williams. So it does seem like USC going to just pivot to the 2025 class in the recruitment of a quarterback, which I think makes a lot of sense for pretty much all the parties involved. Malachi Nelson, I think their future quarterback for the next couple of years. So again, appreciate you guys checking the fellas out. We do have a USC video where we talk about why we think they can win a national championship in 2023 coming out as well. So if you do enjoy the content, stay tuned for that as well. Subscribe to the channel. Again, can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown, and we'll talk to y'all later.